My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for High-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at High-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. High-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
On today's show, we head to the UK into the Brands Hatch circuit for round 6 of the British Sidecar Championship. Then we wind the clock back to 2015 and head to Winton Motor Raceway with the opening round of the Trans-Tasman Drifting Championship. And later we head to Queensland Raceway for our continued round 3 coverage of the Swan Super Series, featuring the Super Sports and Amsport 600s. This is Speedweek.
It's mid-season and we're back where it all began, here at Brands Hatch for round 6 of the Hyundai Heavy Industries British Sidecar Championship. This time though we're on the Grand Prix circuit, so lots of racing out in the country. It's Saturday morning, the weather is going to be on and off and very iffy all weekend, so that'll spice things up come the races for sure. Tim and Tristan Reeves sit on top of the pile with an unbeaten record so far this year, and young Todd Ellis and Charlie Richardson lead the 600 Cup. Here's the table. How impressive is that? 250 points maximum all the way through. Stevens there, Kershaw with Holland very close, but Kershaw's not had the best of luck. Hopefully his luck will change. Gary Bryant's had a steady season there in 5th, but look at this. 53 points for young Todd Ellis. The Birchells are not here, a bit of an upset with Tim Reeves, and for some reason they did not show. Best known to themselves, but Tim Reeves on these tricky conditions, one of the only, well, there were 3 outfits went with slick tyres, everybody else was on wets. A lot of heated discussion, of course, with Ricky Stevens before this race, with his team principal and team manager. Kershaw sadly had to push off the grid, so the bad luck continued for Kershaw and Stuart Clark. They were not going to take any part in this race, and neither would Alan Founds and Tom Peters, who were sidelined from the 600 race as well. Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes with a clear sight of Paddock Hill Bend. You would have thought they'd have got off the line with a cracker, but it was Tim Reeves again. Ian Guy and Jed Pillmore-Brady had a dreadful start. Spinning out early on at Paddock Bend was Rupert Archer. Todd Ellis only just missed him, had to take to the gravel. That young man's reflexes were so quick. So Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas were out of the running. Andy Peach went through underneath Ricky Stevens. Peach was another one of the competitors running full wet rear tyres. It was almost impossible to see what they were running on the front and sidecar, but I can tell you that Tim Reeves had an intermediate front and sidecar. Ben Holland and Stuart Ramsey also went past the defending champions, but out in front on very tricky, wet, patchy conditions, Tim and Tristan Reeves made no mistake at all. Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde made a good fist of it as well, but you could see just how deep it was as Rod Robinson and Shelley Smithies beached theirs into the gravel. Andy Peach was another one to follow, almost an identical move. He spun it round, got it backwards in the gravel, and with the nose cone on the raised bit, that was going nowhere anytime soon. Barry James and young Jack Tritton were making a good show as well. They were another crew on a slick tyre. Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes running slicks as well, were very fast. Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde did an identical spin out at Paddock Hill Bend, and you'll see when they get going just how much standing water there was on the inside of the track, and that was what caught people out in the main. Barry James, the revelation of 2017, just absolutely flying past Ricky Stevens. The battle of the 600s. Todd Ellis and Lewis Blackstock were at it, hammer and tongs. Todd Ellis got the better of Blackstock, who came here 6th in the World Championship. He must have wondered where this kid had come from. But Todd Ellis was leading coming here, and he certainly enhanced his points tally with that move on Blackstock. Walker, meanwhile, muscled his way into Hawthorns past Ben Holland and Stuart Ramsey. And Chris Walker, Ashley Hawes were having a terrific race. Their luck certainly appeared to change. Impeccable at the front, the Reeves brothers did everything needed to bring it home in a strong finish. Was there any answer in 2017 for these boys? Well, we obviously still have the rest of the season to go. We shall see. Matt McLaurin, A.D. Hope retiring the Blue Machinery bike, and John Holden on the fastest 600 in the race, up past Rob Biggs and Ben Ransley, and he was just going quicker and quicker and quicker. But as you will see shortly, as Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes went out, would you believe, with a broken chain? And there you can see the chain dangling at the back. Now this is important. Holden flew past, but on the left there was a yellow flag, passing Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood into 4th. He was penalised a place, and in the final analysis was dropped to 5th at the flag. Not so for Tim and Tristan Reeves, though, who maintain their unbeaten record ahead of Barry James and Jack Tritton, who brought their Kawasaki home to an astonishing runner-up spot, much to the delight of the young passenger. 3rd place went to Ben Holland and Stuart Ramsey, another impeccable ride for the boys from Portsmouth. But Reeves, masterful in difficult conditions at Brands. There it is, nearly 30 seconds ahead of Barry James. Ben Holland, that was the podium. Stevens and Charwood 4th, so they've redeemed themselves a bit, but look at Holden, 5th in the Cup class. Ellis and Blackstock 2nd and 3rd. Brian Gray and Jason Pitt, also a good ride for 600s. Gary Horsepole ahead of them. And Ian Guy in the points. And the guys from New Zealand, Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan, 14th. Race 2 lining up here. The rain, unpredictable as ever, is beginning to come down, but we've got a reverse grid situation. These guys, Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney, they're lying 6th in the World Championship at the moment, but first time out on a long outfit. They chased Todd Ellis and Charlie Richardson all the way home. They'll be coming to line up here on the front row. So we've got a pair of 600s on the front row. Let's move further down. Over here, number 78, Neville Jones and Jody James came through from the back of the grid to finish 7th in race 1, 6th in class. So a really good effort for them. Alongside them, Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde. So we've got 2 1000cc bikes behind the pair of 600s on the front row. John Holden, quickest 600 in race 1. There he is, number 3. Tim Reeves and Tristan back there on row 5. You can just about see the number 77 outfit alongside Barry James. And let me tell you, Steve Kershaw and Chris Walker are coming from the back of the grid, rows 11 and 12 respectively. Well, I can tell you, spits and spots of rain coming down. I've been going on and banging on about the weather all weekend, but it's really, really tricky. Trust me, it is going to be extremely difficult. Tyre choice, again, a dilemma, but most of these guys have gone for slicks. They're not going to be caught out like race 1, where the tyres degraded when it began to dry out. So they're on slicks. Ricky Stevens had a good ride, he and Ryan Charwood in race 1. Tim Reeves, just astonishingly good, and I alluded to the fact that he and the Birchells had a massive coming together in a road race in the Isle of Man last weekend, and for best reasons known to himself, Ben Birchall's not turned up here. But Tim Reeves coming from well down the order on row 5, but we've got two 600s on the front, but through the middle goes Gary Bryan, number 44. Ricky Stevens really charging into the lead. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood on the JG Speedweek Kawasaki, but no, Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde going through. Look at the twitch. Up we go then towards Druid. Stevens on the inside. He needs the lead. He's got the lead. Reeves is in fourth. Walker is into Peach. Walker and Peach colliding. They're tangled together. Look at Ashley Hall's arm in the middle of that melee. Walker is free. Walker is free. Andy Peach is flapping a wheel arch, so he's sustained damage. That will mean he'll have to come in. But Chris Walker appears to be up and running. Reeves already in second place. This is astonishing from row 5. He is so quick off the line. Look at the rain. Rain on the camera. Todd Ellis, Charlie Richardson, just blown into the weeds by Barry James and Jack Tritton. There, Andy Peach's wheel arch with a camera, and Chris Walker sidelined as well. So it's a double no score for the former Superbike star. At the front then, Reeves on the inside, no. Camera angle told me a fib there as they go through the back, down towards Sterling's. Now the sprint towards the bridge. Ricky Stevens, Ryan Charwood lead. Tim and Tristan Reeves right with them. Ben Holland, Stuart Ramsey in without a wheel arch come Andy Peach and Ken Edwards. So it's been a bad day at the office for Andy Peach, that's for sure. These though are the top 3, all 1000cc, all Kawasaki. Tim Reeves now has got, I have to say, Ricky Stevens has found his mojo. He's had suspension problems, he's had an electronic problem. Coming to the grid in this race, he said, I feel much better. We have sorted the problem that's been plaguing me all season on the JG Speedfit called Kawasaki, and it shows. They're now running at Tim Reeves' pace. Tim and Tristan Reeves then on the back of the JG Speedfit bike. Has the championship gone? Well, it's a long season. We've got double points in the final round, so in bike racing anything can happen. Throw on the inside, the battle of the 600s. John Holden, who is not really in contention in this championship because he's doing World Series, goes underneath Todd Ellis, but still Tim Reeves looking right, looking left. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood then into Westfield and then down through Dingledale towards Sheen. We're approaching Sheen Curve now. On the inside, Tim Reeves loves the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Oh, wow! Look how he flew past Ricky Stevens. At Sterling's again, round they go. Now, second place it is for the boys from Portsmouth. Reeves leads. It's business as usual, the old firm. Tim and Tristan at the front. But Ricky and Ryan going well, holding their own. Can they hang on to the coattails? Ben Holland having a really good season. Gary Bryan, Phil Hyde. Rob Biggs, number 5, going well as underneath goes Kershaw. Of course, no points in race 1, but he's got it all to do coming right from the back of the grid. Number 29, Steve Kershaw and Stuart Clark on the Express Tyres Blink Body Kawasaki. Flip the background. It's non-stop action here. Up another place goes Kershaw in pursuit of Gary Bryan. Gary Bryan on the Santander Salt. Roger Body sponsored. Number 44 carrying the number, of course, that Roger Body used so often in earlier seasons when he rode that outfit. Kershaw alongside. More spots of rain on the camera. So it's on off the weather here, but it doesn't bother Kershaw. Kershaw and Stuart Clark are through. Identical sponsors for Rob Biggs and Ben Ramsey, number 5, Express Tyres. And Ian Hamilton helping them very much in the 2017 season. Look at Barry James and Jack Tritton. They really are charging hard. Again, running a slick tyre in this race. They've got to find their way past, will they? Well, Tim Reeves has stretched out just a little bit. It's about 3 seconds now advantage he has over Ricky and Ryan. But meanwhile, this battle further down the order is really, really raging. Gary Bryan at the front of it. Barry James and Jack Tritton lead Rob Biggs and Ben Ransley, with Ian Guy and Jed Pillmore-Brady in line astern, these four outfits. Ian Guy, having done a few hill climbs recently, is just enjoying his 2017 season, if you like, cherry-picking the meetings he wants to do and the ones he wants to have fun at. Having fun, Barry James, talking about somebody who's burst on the scene. We've not seen Barry James in this championship for, as my memory serves me well, about 4 seasons. And he was very, very quick. One of the only men ever to beat Tim Reeves round here on home ground. But it's not going to be so this weekend. Todd Ellis getting the big bike treatment as Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas blast the Hannafin Kawasaki past. Rob Biggs, Ben Ransley having an absolutely great ride this time. They really, really are going well, holding their own. Gary Bryan having just got his way past, but Ian Guy and Jed Pillmore-Brady still very much in touch with this battle here. But Barry James now moving away from Gary Bryan. Rob Biggs, and I've said before, has had some health issues this year which affected his stamina and his endurance levels, but he's certainly putting up a good fight here. But is he going to be able to hold off Ian Guy? Well, the answer to that is no, because Ian Guy, also another competitor who knows his way around the Brands Hatch circuit like the back of his hand. I know it's a cliche, but it's the only one I can think of at the moment. He and Jed Pillmore-Brady doing an absolutely brilliant job. Ian Guy, something of a veteran, as I've said before, been around the scene for a long, long time. Way, way back in the day, rode the Royal Mail, bright red, postbox red, long outfit. Dean Nichols, number 11, has taken to his long outfit very well indeed, as Neville Jones. And they're ahead of Kevin Cable, so this is a really, really busy race all the way down the order. A big grid here. Through goes Kershaw, underneath Ben Holland, who pulls out on the left to try and get alongside Kawasaki. Plays Kawasaki into clear ways, but Kershaw, a demon on the brakes, almost overcooks it, but he got it stopped. He's absolutely oozing with confidence this season, Steve Kershaw. He and Stuart Clark have gelled so well on the Express Tyres Blink Body Kawasaki, and they are honestly a force to be reckoned with. And I can tell you, Kershaw has just set the fastest lap in the race, so he is on a mission. Will he be able to wind in Tim Reeves, Ricky Stevens? Well, I don't know. Stevens will be the next target for Kershaw, that's for sure. Stuart Ramsey just doing enough to hold Ben Holland's sidecar wheel down there at Graham Hill Bend. Kershaw then at Surtees, up the hill, round and away out into the country. Down Dingle Dell, where they're approaching 160 miles an hour on the drop down towards Hawthorne Bend. It's the fastest part of the circuit here, and I went trackside in practice. It takes your breath away, I can tell you. Oh, Kevin Cable. He doesn't smoke, but he's smoking now, that's for sure. So very sensibly gets it onto the green stuff, off the black stuff. Let's have a look. There it is. It let go, but he was very quick to respond. Kevin Cable straight off the track. That's the thing to do. That looks to me as though it's dropped a valve or something. Unfortunate and uncharacteristic. Guy Pawsey, hands in the air in frustration. Rob Biggs and Ben Ransley, meanwhile, about to repay the debt, are they, on Ian Guy? No, Ian Guy too wily for that. Clips their nose off, going into Surtees. Is he going to be able to sustain it, though, on the run down towards Hawthorne Bend? His ageing Suzuki seems every bit as quick. And now on board with Tim and Tristan Reeves on the Carl Cox Motorsport Kawasaki. Tris, younger brother of the 5 times big bike champion and a couple of F2 wins, 7 times a world champion altogether, Tim Reeves. And by golly, it shows. There is no one around the scene at the current time able to hold a candle to him. Horsepower for horsepower, put it that way. Certainly Ben and Tom Birchall, in their own right, are so very quick on the 600, and it's just a pity they're not here this weekend. Steve Kershaw then homing in, closing in. There's the target as he goes past Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan, visitors here from New Zealand, also riding under the Carcox Motorsport banner. Lovely to see them here on a short outfit as well. But Kershaw safely by the back end of Ricky Stevens, drifting out. Can Kershaw close him down? It's a big ask. We're on the final lap here. We are on the final lap, so about 2.5 miles. 1.5 now because of where they are. Round they go towards Westfield. Westfield, the next right-hander. Then there'll be a way down Dingle Dell through to Sheen Curve. Reeves is already at Sheen Curve. Kershaw's closing in. Kershaw is closing in. The gap is visibly coming down. Round he goes then. Sterling's, they're at Sterling's. Now a massive sprint here. Kershaw senses that he can go one step better on the podium. He's already in 3rd place. Can he make it one step higher on the podium? Reeves is over the line. The Reeves brothers have won the race here, but who's going to grab 2nd? It's neck and neck, neck and neck. Ricky Stevens, over the line he goes. Just beats Kershaw, but what a fantastic battle and a fight back from the back of the grid for Steve Kershaw. And I have to say, from row 5, Tim Reeves to win like that, brilliant stuff. No scores, of course, for Peach and Walker after that first lap shunt. I wonder what's going to be said in the paddock afterwards. Fastest 600s again, John Holden and Mark Wilkes. As Rupert Archer comes over, Gary Horsepole and Jimmy Connell having a very consistent season, but there it is. After nearly 16 minutes of racing, Tim and Tristan Reeves maintain their unbroken record with victory here in race 2. Only 6 seconds, so Stevens was very much more on the pace, as indeed was Kershaw. Holland, James, Bryan there consistently. Look at that, Ian Guy up to 7th. Top 600 was 9th, that was John Holden. Horsepole, McLaurin, Ellis there again scoring solid points ahead of Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney. And a good grid started and a big grid finished. Steve Kershaw, Stuart Clark from the back of the grid. That was some ride. 2 more laps, might have been one step further.
I think 1 more lap, I think half a lap. Yeah, bite was perfect, Stuart was perfect. Big smile on our faces, just really enjoying it, I
mean, you've had so much bad luck. No fault of your own, breakdowns, DNFs, that makes up a bit for it.
Yeah, it certainly does. You know, the breakdowns couldn't be helped. You know, as Steve's always said, we're just going out, have fun, enjoy riding the bike quick, and yeah, happy team.
Ricky and Ryan, good to see you both on winning form. Not exactly winning form, but right there, not a million miles away. Good finish.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. No, it's we actually feel like all our birthdays coming on this weekend because yesterday we was really down. We've got a problem with the issue of the bike. We keep on saying it every time we're in here, we say there's a problem, but there genuinely has been a problem, and this weekend, today, we found it. And it's nobody's fault, it's just a common problem with these that we found. Now we just got to work on it. We had no bike set up this weekend, so Thruxton, we should be good to go.
Home track, you love it at Thruxton, hard work, but 3 races.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. You know, we just want to say thank you to everybody that helped us to get where we are. We've been very stressy over the last few weekends. Big thanks from Phil and everyone from Bournemouth Kawasaki and that. You know, without all them, we just wouldn't have turned it around as quick as we did.
Well done, boys.
Thanks, Barry. Cheers.
What can I say? I mean, I'm almost running out of superlatives and words, but that wasn't such a runaway victory. Tricky conditions too, Tim.
Yeah, no, there was no trickiness about it. It was fine. The track was bone dry. It was good. It was nice. We had a steady start, and it was good. Yeah, to have a bit of work to do. I really enjoyed it. I love this reverse grid thing. It's good.
Good to see Ricky and Ryan back on the pace.
Yeah, I was just talking to his brother Wayne. I said, well, you know, they're obviously finding a bit more pace. So yeah, it makes it more fun, makes it more enjoyable for everyone, doesn't it?
He's a cool customer, isn't he, Tim Reeves? You know, just all in a day's work, but you can't take it away from the man. 300. Stevens and Holland, well, he's done himself a power of good. Kershaw, there's more to come, I can tell you. And all the way down the order, but Chris Walker, the wheels have come off that's for sure. Todd Ellis, Charlie Richardson, 17 points clear of the Birchells. Will they be at Thruxton? Well, that's it from round 6 at Brands Hatch. The weather's been difficult, as I've been saying, all through the programme, but hopefully when we get to Thruxton, which is in 2 weeks' time in Hampshire, 3 races on the programme, maybe the good old English summer will have returned. Let's hope so. But is there anyone out there going to stop the Reeves machine from rolling on?
Coming up after the break, we delve into the Speedweek archives and rewind the clock to the opening round of the 2015 Trans-Tasman Drifting Championship at Winton Motor Raceway.